After watching Superman and seeing the post-end credit scenes, there has been a lot of negative comments on Supergirl's introduction. All I have to say is relax. Relax. The movie hasn't come out yet. You guys don't even know what the story is. Chill out. James Gunn's take is gonna be comic accurate. Okay, if you guys have seen the Supergirl TV show, you know, Kara Danvers and all the other iterations of Supergirl, we're always getting this Girl Scout perfect girl, right? Like, we're always getting that character, and I feel that we've just had a saturation of perfect characters. This new introduction of Supergirl is going to be the direct opposite of that. All right. This is exactly why James Gunn has put his marketing around, look out instead of look up, right? Because we don't know what to expect when it comes to this girl. Like, she looks sloppy, all over the place, mental issues. And this is what's perfect for a movie like this. To give you guys a quick background of the comic that this movie is going to be based off of, Women of Tomorrow has been deemed as one of the best comic book iterations of Supergirl that have ever been created. It definitely has a different approach that is a lot more compelling than a lot of the stories that we've seen of Supergirl, right? Just to give you a quick background, this involves Supergirl, as a nomad in space, building relationships and growing as a person. When you guys think about where she's come from, if it was a regular person that's gone through her situation, let's say your family, everyone's dead and you had no one to really be there for your mentor, and you've gone down the wrong path, which is at the end of the day no fault your own, not having anybody, we wouldn't be saying anything. But because she's a Kryptonian and she's Supergirl, she can't have no faults, apparently. This film encompasses her character development from her path as a nomad. And this is going to be a great feature to add to Superman for the fact that, we're tired of seeing the Boy Scout, the guy that does everything right. She's going to be a really good complement to Clark as the older brother that, hey, like, you got to get it together, and she's just over here doing her thing. I've already seen some funny comments on her character. People saying that she looks like one of those drunk girls that just got back from getting by Chad and Tyrone, right? Which is funny as hell. But it just shows you that this character is gonna cause a lot of uproar when it comes to the DC fandom. Kara's emotional complexity is a lot different than Clark's. I mean, if you guys do remember, she did not grow up like Clark. She saw Krypton blow up, like, in her face. And she was fully developed. She wasn't fully developed, but she had enough awareness to know what was going on. And that had a traumatic impact on her psyche, right? However, with Clark, for all he knew, he thought he was human. Like, he didn't see all that trauma. He didn't see all that destruction happening right in front of him. So of course he has a clean slate to go off of. And to top it off, he got raised by some really solid parents on Earth, right? So which is unfair advantage that Clark has when it comes to Kara. Another reason why Supergirl is going to be a great film is the fact that the casting is pretty good. I haven't seen Millie Alcox in many films, but I've heard that she, is quite talented, and she's going to be able to convey what they're looking for when it comes to Supergirl. If you look at her, some might say she's not conventionally attractive or whatever, and that's what you guys need to leave alone. Like, Supergirl doesn't need to be bad all the time. She doesn't, okay? Just because a character is conventionally attractive doesn't mean they're gonna do good on screen. And I appreciate the fact that she didn't get the best looking actor to play her, because now we can really focus on the emotional tone and what she actually brings as an actor, right? Not throwing shade to any other people. You know, that's a really good positive to Secondly, the theme of the story is a space themed movie, and one thing that I always search out and seek is sci-fi space movies. I just loved the cinematography of space, and who do we know best that has displayed the cinematography of space better than James Gunn? I mean, in Guardians 1, 2, and 3, he did a pretty damn good job, and for the fact that he gets to bring those talents into this movie is gonna be really dope, right? Seeing a whole bunch of, you know, different aliens, you know, galaxies, different bunch of scenery, right, that we're not confined to on Earth, and that is gonna be really dope if they don't mess it up, right? I mean, I don't want to see no cheap, you know, looking cinematography. I really want them to get the vibrancy and, you know, the vastness of space, and when you add that to a really compelling story, it feels a lot bigger, right? It just doesn't feel as small. And obviously, one of the biggest reasons why this movie is gonna hit is because Jason Momoa. Okay, if you guys didn't know, Jason Momoa, as soon as he found out that James Gunn was gonna be the director and CEO of DCU, he texted him and saying Lobo, right? So, you know, when you got an actor as good as Jason Momoa blatantly showing his interest to become a character at DCU, that if you look at him and look at the character he's playing, Lobo, it's like one of those situations where this person was born to play this character, right? And when you can get an actor that in real life displays those characteristics of someone that you're trying to portray in a film, it becomes a lot more impactful, and, you know, they take it a lot more serious because they really embody that character, right? And so, you know, bringing him on screen, his charisma is going to add a whole nother element to the film that's going to bring it all together, right? And from what I heard from James Gunn is that this film isn't going to be PG, right? And that's one thing that there's a misconception about, like things need to be PG or family friendly. I don't know about that. I think as of recently, society's been more accustomed to seeing a lot more gore and violence and blood. Just, you know, it seems like it's been a lot more accustomed to now. And for me, I feel like if I don't see any of that in a film, I can't take it as serious, right? So to actually see a live action film with, you know, Supergirl and using her powers, where if she lasers somebody, like, we're gonna see bodies, you know, getting chopped off, right? Like, we're gonna see all of that. It adds another depth to the film where, all right, shoot, if somebody dies here, it's gonna look gruesome, and I'm a fan of that, right? So that's another reason why this film is gonna do very well. And when it comes to the business aspect of it, Supergirl doesn't have the expectations of Superman. It's literally, hey, if you go and check it out, you know, you're not gonna be going in there like, oh my gosh, it's not Henry Cavill's Superman, right? It's okay, this is a completely different character. Nobody cares about the CW Kara, okay? Like, she did all right, but like I said, I'm just tired of the Girl Scout, like the perfect, you know, being. I'm tired of that. Even though she low-key was a little weird in that show. Like, there was definitely some questionable things about her character in that show. However, Supergirl has a clean slate that we're going to be able to come into and appreciate a lot more than something like Superman that had a lot of baggage, and we're going to be judging from the jump, right? I'm very excited about Supergirl. Like, I hate the fact that these movies take a long time. 2026, they better be coming out with some other shit, right? But James Gunn so far is on a good path, and you know, he's probably going to kill it with Supergirl. What do you guys think about the Supergirl film? Or, I mean, do you guys think it's going to do well? Do you think it's going to do better than Superman? Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you, and till next time.